Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for February 15th, 2014. It's currently 10:50 a.m. And we have some snow out there and a little bit of rain as well as another storm starts to develop off of the mid-Atlantic coast. But this time, this storm will be focused further east. I think Boston's going to get the worst of this storm. Connecticut and Long Island, you're not out of this either. You're going to see some significant snowfall, especially as you move towards the eastern Long Island and eastern Connecticut. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area, you'll get some snow. It's snowing right now, but there's one important factor to consider. Boundary layer temperatures. Temperatures right now basically are in the mid to upper 30s over the New York City metropolitan area and upper 30s to lower 40s in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. Now, these temperatures are going to fall. We're pretty much seeing our high today, but the impacts have been already felt, in which that you basically have snow falling from the sky, but it's not really accumulating all that much. Now, temperatures are going to crash pretty quickly down into the lower to mid 30s, allowing for some accumulation, but it's going to take some time for that to happen. Meanwhile, the interior is already cold enough for snowfall accumulation in the upper 20s to lower 30s, thus the potential for higher snowfall in these locations in eastern Pennsylvania, which is why I went 3 to 6 in these areas. Connecticut, Long Island, this is going to be a pretty impressive storm for you, but not nearly as impressive as what you're going to see in Boston with near blizzard or basically blizzard conditions on the way for tonight. Now here is our radar, and this storm is really starting to get its act together very nicely. It's a very dynamic, very energetic storm that's going to be developing here. It's just the timing's all wrong for it to impact the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area with heavy snowfall. It's getting its act together, no doubt about that, but the timing is just off. I'm going to show you why in the water vapor satellite picture. So for the rest of this day through the afternoon, look for rain changing over to snow, and in areas where it's already snowing, that snow will start to accumulate. You can see here the back edge here is already starting to push through central Pennsylvania. So this is not a long duration heavy snow event for eastern Pennsylvania. This is a moderate snowfall, 3 to 6 inches in these areas because the temperatures are already at or below freezing. So this moderate snowfall, all of it's accumulating. So that's going to get you to that 3, 4, possibly even 6-inch level in these areas. Now for Connecticut and for Long Island, see this part right here? This part's going to loop out over the Atlantic and then curve back and basically cut right through and then really just explode over Boston. So this is your snowfall right here. That's going to give you your 3 to 6, 4 to 8, and even 5 to 9-inch snowfall over eastern Connecticut and eastern Long Island. On the infrared satellite picture, you can see this storm rapidly intensifying. Now, how do I know that this is going to be further east and will not impact the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area with the heaviest snowfall? Well, one indicator is where the strongest lifting is developing. Notice it's all moving due east, now east-northeast, off of the New Jersey coast. Clearly, the best lifting in dynamics is focusing towards the New England coastal waters and southern New England. And the reason why is because, see this curly cube right here? It's moving due east, and then it has to take its time to move east-northeast. And because of that time, this low pressure system must curve out like this, just far enough off the New Jersey coast to keep the heaviest snowfall off of the New Jersey coast in the best dynamic. So you see the best lifting here is all off the coast here. Now in other storms, remember, this was over us, which meant that the storm was going to be closer to the coast, thus the heavier snowfall. So this is one indicator. Let's take a look at a water vapor satellite picture. Here's another indicator. You see this storm here? Now, right now it's in perfect position. Beforehand, it was a little bit too close to this disturbance. So the overall 500 millibar pattern suppressed this low pressure system all the way down to South Carolina. Now that it is recurving, and wow, it is really impressive. Let's zoom in on that. This is a very impressive disturbance here, really getting its act together. But because it went so far south, it has to take time to recurve. And so as a result, that's why it misses the brunt. That's why New York City and Philadelphia misses the brunt of this storm. but not Long Island, not eastern Connecticut, basically the eastern half of Connecticut, and certainly not southern New England. Again, this storm is for Boston, and it's going to be a nasty one this evening with blizzard conditions expected and very heavy snowfall. So let's take a look at the forecast that we have. So here's the going forecast for the storm today. In Zone 1, which pretty much covers southern New Jersey and the Delmarva Peninsula, looking at a rain-snow mix changing over to snow eventually. A trace to 2 inches, mostly on cold surfaces. Not a storm for you in southern New Jersey. You deserve a break anyway. In southeastern Pennsylvania, Philadelphia Metro, central New Jersey, and the New York City Metro, that rain-snow mix would go over to all snow. Many locations have already gone over to all snow, but the temperatures are so warm at the surface, it might as well be rain because the snow isn't accumulating very well. But that's going to change as the temperatures continue to fall throughout the morning into the afternoon into the lower to mid-30s, with snowfall accumulations of 2 to 4 inches. Most locations are going to be around 2 inches of snow. This is, again, not a storm for you. Now remember, in the New York City Metro, you might be saying, yeah, but central Long Island is going to get 3 to 6 inches. Yes, but because of the strong lifting that's going to develop here and on east, the precipitation shield is going to collapse over New York City and thus limit your snowfall totals as well, thus the 2 to 4 inches. Now, Zone 3 is a little bit of a mix of both storms here, or both transitions, should I say. Over northeastern Pennsylvania, from basically Reading to Allentown, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, I'm going 3 to 6 inches in these locations because A, it starts off more than cold enough for snowfall accumulation, and B, there's going to be some moderate bands of snow. Most locations are going to be around 3 to 4 inches, but you could push up to 5 or 6 inches in some of these locations, especially over northeastern Pennsylvania and northwestern New Jersey as this storm really gets itself organized. That bleeds into the Hudson River Valley. And then for western Connecticut down through central Long Island, looking at 3 to 6 inches of snow. Again, most locations are around that 3 to 4 inch area, but a few locations, especially as you move further east, like towards Hartford and towards eastern Long Island, around Bridgeport, New Haven, those locations could push into that 5 to 6 inch range. Then we start pushing into central Connecticut, down through eastern Long Island, zone 4, 4 to 8 inches of snow. There's going to be some really dynamic bands starting to set up in these locations as the storm really wraps up. And then zone 5, 5 to 10 inches for basically eastern Connecticut. Basically, this is the start of the really heavy snowfall that starts to really pummel southern New England. And they're on the edge of that heavy snowfall, thus a range of 5 to 10 inches. If you get in some of those heavy bands, you're definitely going to be pushing into that 8, 9, 10 inch range. So this storm's going to move quickly, and by 9 p.m. tonight, majority of the region's out of this entire event. In fact, it could be even faster as we get really intense lifting, and a lot of the precipitation is focused from central Long Island and central Connecticut on east. So again, this storm is not for the Philadelphia, New York City metropolitan area. There are some impacts, but if you have any plans heading up to Boston, good luck. You're going to need it because it's going to get very ugly up there this evening. So let's take a look at the model guidance using the GFS model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website. And basically for today, again, we have that storm developing. It's going to bomb out to the southeast of New England and produce very heavy snowfall in these locations. Temperatures for today have pretty much reached their high and they fall through the upper 20s and lower 30s throughout much of the region. For tonight, temperatures will crash as Arctic cold air drives in. Watch out for a strong northwesterly wind over the region, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Temperatures are going to be falling into the mid to upper teens, and so that's going to lead to a wind chill in the single digits to lower teens throughout the region tomorrow morning. Brutally cold, but there is some hope. High pressure takes control, skies clear out, temperatures rebound into the mid to upper 20s. For Monday, clouds are going to be increasing as a warm front approaches the region. High pressure is going to be in control though, so it won't be all that bad. It'll be dry. Temperatures are going to remain chilly in the mid to upper teens for lows and mid to upper 20s for highs. Monday night to Tuesday, that warm front moves through with some rain and snow. there's a lot of warm air involved in this. It's basically a basic warm front. And, there could be some snowfall accumulation of 2 to 4 inches. I do not expect this to be a significant event. In fact, I expect a lot of this precipitation to go from snow to rain as temperatures warm up. Your early low temperature will be in the lower to mid 20s. Okay? Then they rise through the upper 30s into the lower 40s throughout much of the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area by Tuesday afternoon. So this is your classic warm front with some warm advection precipitation. It's going to be a rain-snow mix. Started off with snow, transition into a rain-snow mix. I'm not expecting any significant accumulation here out of this. 2 to 4 inch snowfall, and then you're done. And then that 2 to 4 inch snowfall, along with all this other snow, is going to start to melt and melt in a fast way. Because by Wednesday, we have high pressure off the coast. We have comfortable weather conditions, temperatures rebounding into a balmy upper 20s to lower 30s for lows, mid to upper 40s for highs. Get out the Hawaiian shirt. It's going to be very nice out there, but you haven't seen anything yet because on Thursday, with high pressure anchored firmly over the Atlantic with a southwesterly wind, temperatures are going to range from the upper 20s to lower 30s for lows, mid to upper 40s for highs. But wait, it gets even better. By Friday and for the rest of this upcoming weekend, well, at least for Friday, we have a strong cold front approaching, but it will be all rain. Temperatures, mid to upper 30s for lows, mid to upper 50s for highs. Could be even a few lower 60s in southwestern New Jersey. It's going to be very nice out there. And then we have our cold front move through and we fall back to reality, which is pretty much near normal. Lower to mid 40s. I think after dealing with teens for highs, we could deal with lower to mid 40s for highs for next weekend with this cold front moving through. So overall, this is the last, at least for now, of any significant snowfall events. And now we get a nice reprieve. And I think we've seen the end of our major winter storms as we start to transition to a little bit different pattern and a little bit more of a shift in the overall storm track. That is your forecast discussion for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.